Occasionally on my videos, I get these retarded comments like, you know, so-and-so did a video of this, or so-and-so reviewed this, or so-and-so commented. Like, usually it's some person named Spoonie. People think that I'm supposed to know who the fuck they're talking about. They're like, Spoonie did this, and I'm like, who the fuck cares? Apparently, if somebody has done a video on a game, you're not allowed to do a video on that same game unless you want to hear people telling you that someone else did it. Well, in this case, I can tell you that no one else has ever featured Star Trek V: The Final Frontier on YouTube before for a NES. This game was never released, and probably for good reason, because Star Trek V was one of the worst fucking movies ever. You'll hear about that tomorrow when I upload my review. So here we have Sybok and his army have taken control of the Nimbus 3 outpost, Paradise City, and have imprisoned the 3 diplomats. The Enterprise, upon urgent command from the Federation, has departed to save them. I've never gotten past the first level in this. It's actually very hard. This is an unreleased game. It doesn't seem like it's finished. You play as Sulu in this first stage. I think that if they did finish it, you know, with a little bit of polish, this could have been, I guess, pretty good. The problem is you gotta, like, really kind of inch along, because you gotta shoot enemies, like, almost as soon as they appear, or you're gonna get fucked. So yeah, from what I heard, the game was almost done. I mean, you could tell it needs more polish, but, you know, the gameplay part of it was done. And you get bombs sometimes. I haven't found a use for them. Oh, tits. Titties! Give me that. Oh, that was a phaser, too. You get the longer phaser. There we go. So, you gotta get lucky with the power-ups. Like, if you get, like, a bunch of invincibility power-ups, the game becomes a lot easier. Otherwise, it's very hard. At least I find it to be hard. I got to, like, last night when I was playing it, I got to, like, the third screen. There's invincibility. But don't just walk through the enemies. Continue to beat them. Say, he just dropped another one. For some reason, the invincibility things are labeled as an M. I don't know what that's about. Yeah, it's a second screen. But this is all part of the first level, so if I die, I start from the very beginning. So, ooh, good. Alright, oh, here we go. Best is when you get invincibility and speed. That's pretty fucking cool. I'm doing really good here, so I'm waiting for the epic fail. I could use some life, though. So apparently, yeah, they were almost done with this game, and what happened was the movie came out, and it was such a disaster that they said nobody's going to want to actually... You know, it's not the type of movie that makes for... I'm doing good. A video game. Even though I found from playing it that it... And from reading about it also, that it follows the story of the movie pretty well. I mean, yeah, I'm playing as Sulu here. It's kind of weird, but from what I understand, you do play as other characters as you go through the speed power-up's really only good in conjunction with... I'm in trouble. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, the speed power-up's only good in conjunction with invincibility. Oh, boy. Asshole! I didn't mean to make a bomb. Damn. Oh, I landed on the blast. When have you ever seen that happen in Star Trek? And you start from the beginning. You basically have unlimited lives. Sulu just gets beamed up, you hit continue. I mean, there's never a game over. But, I really want to get past the first level. I've never gotten past the first level. I found out about this game when there's a bunch of unreleased Star Trek games, but I found out specifically about this one when I was researching what games to do for the Star Trek feature. I came across this, and I said, well, you know, let's see if I can find the ROMs for any of these unreleased games. This is such a hard fucking ROM to get a hold of, it's ridiculous. So if you can find it, don't ask me for it, because I don't provide people with ROMs, but if you do find a copy of it, consider yourself lucky. Because I looked for it on like the typical ROM sites and shit, and I couldn't find it. And I eventually did. It took me like a couple of days to get it, and eventually I did get it. See, like in most games, you just keep running forward when you're invincible, but in this, you really need to get more power-ups. You know, life power-ups in particular are so important. And sometimes you can get a string of invincibilities and run through the whole thing. But as of yet, I've never gotten past the third section of level 1. Maybe in this video I will. Next is a horse guy. They're not that bad. Oh. Ooh, yeah. Fucker. Bomb. I don't know. I've read you need the bombs at a certain point. But yeah, the ROM for this game wasn't... this is a prototype, unreleased reproduction of it. And it didn't hit the internet till 2006, considering it's an NES game. That's pretty amazing. That's life. I want it. You just gotta be careful not to scroll... that's a bomb, I don't care. Scroll power-ups off the screen, or they're gone, and you can also scroll enemies back onto the screen in certain circumstances, it seems. Actually, no, I got to the fourth, because this is the third screen. I got to the fourth screen yesterday. And that was as far as I can get. It started to get, like, really fucking hard. Plus, I was getting frustrated, so... Oh, my invincibility runs out right when I'm on top of the guy. Whoa. The mortars... You gotta jump at them when they're off the screen if you wanna get through it without getting killed. Because the mortars fuck you up in this. So yeah, I can safely say, because I even checked yesterday, because I was like, what if, you know, between the time I planned the feature, which was months ago, and the time it actually goes up, somebody beats me to the punch. Which is why, even though I included part of a screenshot when I promoted the Star Trek feature originally, way back in, like, January. It's full life. Piss. Alright. Oh, yeah. So here I am in the Paradise City. You're supposed to rescue the three delegates, the Romulan, the Klingon, and the Federation guy. Of course, they've all joined Cybok. That's what happened in the movie. Yeah. It's like... I don't know, when you hear that this exists, because I'm sure a lot of you are hearing about this for the first time, you think to yourself, you know, an unreleased NES game based, well, just even an NES game at all, an NES game based on Star Trek V. How fucking, like, you think this is going to be like one of the worst games ever. This is going to be like AVGN material, but really I find it to be, even though it definitely is, see, the thing is, it's unfinished, so it's like, you know, how much can you really complain about it? Let me let that fill up, because if you get hurt while it's filling up, you're fucked. Oh, God. Yeah, this is, like, kind of like the furthest I've ever been, so... Phaser. Oh, go, go, go. Alright, I've never been here. You can also shoot up. I don't know if there's a use for that yet. Maybe... There, I found a use for it. Oh, this is a boss. He looks the same as all the other enemies. I've never gotten this far. Ah, he fucked me up. I don't suppose there's a chance I could start at the boss, is there? Ah, no, it's not gonna happen, is it? Oh, God. I've heard that there's only 4 stages, and that I think in the second stage you play as Scotty, and then back at the beginning. And then the third stage is like a space shooter, and then I think in the last stage you get to play as Kirk. So I've also heard that it actually gets easier, but couldn't tell you. Like right here, this part is kind of hard, you know. Come on. So, I don't know. I didn't realize that guy was a boss, or I probably would have handled it slightly differently from the get-go, because I was just like, why won't this guy die? I didn't think that they'd take you know, out of the two enemies you've met so far, green guy and white guy, they take the weaker one and they make that the boss. They didn't even make him a different color, you know? And this is the stronger one, the white guy. So you figure they'd use that one. Who knows? Like I said, it wasn't finished. I mean, you guys have mostly seen... I mean, you saw the Vectrex game, but mostly you've been seeing the Sega game, the arcade one, you know, on different systems, of which, strangely enough, the best version is easily on Atari 2600, and the worst version is actually the Coleco, as far as I'm concerned. But even though, you know, that was a good game, even like on the Coleco, it was a good game. So, you guys are not prepared for the horror that is most Star Trek games. They're terrible, usually. And, you know, like Star Wars has a much better track record for... I don't really want the phaser that badly. Has a much better track record for games, Star Wars, you know. I'm going well past the... I'm trying to fill this up to 15 minutes because I want to show as much of this game as possible because I am the first person on YouTube to play it in a video. So, nobody's ever done this before. You know, it's the final frontier of games. To boldly go where no gamer has bothered. They saw it, I didn't care. Well, not many people know about this game, but yeah, you know, I find this, considering what it is and what it's based on, to be, fuck. And there was a life, yeah. Surprisingly decent, because it's like, most Star Trek games are just really bad, they're way more complicated than they need to be, and they're just crappy in that sense. And this is a game that I think, with some polish, could have been half decent. Certainly not like like as good as the Star Wars game that was on the NES. But, you know, better than the other Star Trek game. The other Star Trek game is weird because it's like an adventure game. I'll be playing that after this. I never really got into it too much. I mean, I've heard that it's terrible, and that it actually is pretty good once you get into it. I don't know. I think if the phaser had better range from the get-go and you didn't have to pick up a power-up just to let it go the whole length of the screen, well, I don't know, maybe the game would be too easy then. Who fucking knows? I just think it's hard. That's my beef with it. The controls are alright. The graphics are, you know, average for the NES. They're not bad, they're not good, you know. The background's nice. I'm assuming that after the first stage there's more than just these two types of enemies, because these are the Nimbus guys. I don't need that. These are the Nimbus 3 guys, so you figure, you know, in other levels there's probably other enemies. Like I heard the space shooter level, there's Klingons. Alright. Well, see, I scrolled that off the screen, but it was just a phaser, so... Piss. Sometimes those guys just shoot you before you can react. Oh yeah. I get that the Starfleet logos are life. That makes sense to me. I get that the bombs look like, you know, bombs. I don't get why the invincibility is like an M. Like, what does that mean? What does the M stand for? More invincibility? And the phasers look like lighters to me. So I don't know. Honestly, that did less damage than if he would have shot me. I'm almost at 15 minutes and I'm doing good. That kind of sucks. So, I'm gonna have to end this video very, very soon. So, I don't know, maybe one day I'll take another crack at it, try to get further. But for now, that's gonna be it. So, I'll see you.